so the bass knocking.
Hello nerds, it's me again, Greg from DadPad Gaming, serving up another review for Nerdum United. Today we're going to talk about Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart, the latest release from Sony's first-party studio, Insomniac Games. Speaking of which, this is the third AAA game that has been launched on the PS5 by Insomniac since the launch of the PS5. 3 games. 3! That's 3 games in under 9 months. Yes! Meaning they've pushed out 3 games faster than you can create a human child. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we should highlight here is I have never been a Ratchet and Clank fan. The original game released in November of 2002, and at the time, I was on my way to being 13 and thirsty for edgier games. You know, the kind of games that say damn, just to let you know exactly how edgy they are.
Damn it, what does it all mean?
Means you're edgy? We just kinda... Anyways, Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart is really good, and if Demon's Souls didn't do it for you, Ripped Apart is indubitably the start of the next generation. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. This game is beautiful. In fact, this game looks so good that I accidentally played the opening hours in 1080p due to a weird glitch on my TV, but I was still in awe. The moment that I realized that I wasn't in full resolution and flipped the switch to full 4K, that image was nothing short of revelatory. YouTube's compression of this footage does no justice of the beauty on display here. Fur looks great and bristly. Ray tracing adds a level of realism that you never knew you needed in a cartoonish platformer. Colors are bright and vibrant. Characters are realized with amazing detail and animation. I could go on for hours. This is undoubtedly the prettiest game available on console to date. The fact that Insomniac had the nerve to go in again and add a 120 frames mode into the mix after release, it's just ridiculous. I just love the fact that there are distinctive flavors of how you can play regardless of who you are. Fidelity mode offers 4K with ray tracing at 30 frames per second. There's a performance mode that offers ray tracing at 60 frames per second. And of course, there's the performance mode, which offers a locked 60 frames per second or a targeted 120 frames per second, depending on what type of display you're using. Gameplay is simple enough, but with so many options for navigation, it can be as shallow or as complex as you'd like to make it. You've got double jumps, hover jumps, trick jumps, jet skates, rocket-propelled beetles, grind rails, and more. And while some of these options for traversal are reserved for set-piece moments, a fair share of them are available at all times and even add to combat and navigation in a very meaningful way. Now, shooting feels fair. While the DualSense implementation is not as good as the likes of Returnal, we do still get some really cool haptic effects, and there's also a handful of weapons that fire differently depending on giving a full or a partial pull of the R2 trigger. The most fun element of the suite of weapons up for offer here is upgrading them and going out and testing them out and seeing what happens. I've taken Ratchet and Clank's equivalent of a double barrel shotgun and built it up to a triple, then a quadruple barrel weapon. And as ridiculous as that may sound, I can't help but be excited to see if that'll add any more barrels, seeing that in challenge mode, which is Ripped Apart's equivalent of New Game Plus, the level cap for weapons raises from 5 to 10. Now, seeing that this is a Ratchet and Clank game, there's plenty of weapons outside of my ginormous shotty, and what's always fun is that you can use whatever, whenever you want. If you want to kill a boss by means of ice, bomb, laser, giant laser, doombots, or whatever, it's here for you. The only limitation to your arsenal is the amount of ammo you're able to find and the bolts you're able to pick up so that you can actually purchase new weapons. And speaking of which, one of my favorite parts of this game is the weapon explanations. Richard Horvitz, best known for his leading role as Zim in Invader Zim, is casted as Zircon Jr., who gives you absolutely ridiculous explanations for each weapon in the game, and some of them are worth a chuckle or two the first time they're heard.
A warmonger! A weapon whose destructive capability is matched only by its simplicity. Pull the fire trigger, it shoots a rocket. Pull it again, it shoots another rocket. Ah, but what happens if you fire a third time? It shoots another rocket! Kaboom!
Now, since I've kind of transitioned into characters, I should probably go ahead and take this time to talk about narrative, right? Now, as far as narrative goes, this game really isn't anything too special. Now, I don't mean that in an insulting way, but it's true. What makes this game shine from a narrative aspect is a mixture of interesting and charming characters, production value, and the journey itself. The overarching story here is almost exactly what you'd expect. Ratchet and Clank get separated, our new Lombax Rivet finds Clank. This causes a bit of confusion between Ratchet and Rivet, which is quickly resolved, and this leads to a huge team up in a third act battle against Nefarious, where his evil plan is thwarted. It's not bad, just don't come here expecting anything on the level of The Last of Us or Red Dead Redemption. Temper your expectations, and what you will find is a cool story about stepping out of your comfort zone, learning to love and trust yourself as well as others, and so much more. The destination is not very important here, it's the journey along the way, and there's so much heart in the story to be found on the way there. Another one of the biggest points worth mentioning is the set pieces throughout this game's mainline campaign. It's clear that they took inspiration from Naughty Dog and cashed in on all those EXP points that they earned from developing Spider-Man PS4 as well as Miles Morales, because the set piece moments are nothing short of amazing, and they're a thrill to play and almost just as much as a thrill for any backseat gamers who may be present. In closing, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is a game that does a few things great and everything else good. Combining those greats and goods with endearing characters, solid writing, ridiculous amounts of fun, and true next-gen graphics and SSD leverage, it makes it easy to understand why so many people have labeled Insomniac's latest effort as a start to this generation. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out my review of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Just be in mind, again, my name is Greg with DadPad Gaming. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube by simply searching DadPad Gaming or twitch.tv/DadPad Gaming. For everything else, stop by our new network YouTube channel and our new network Twitch channel at twitch.tv/New Network. That's NU Network. Of course, you can always like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks again, guys, and have a wonderful day.